Welcome into another live edition post-game show of 410 Sports Talk. I'm Glenn Martin, riding solo for now, but maybe not for the whole show. We'll have to wait and see if Jimmy can make it. But holy smokes, this Ravens team is nothing to play with. They destroy the Buffalo Bills at home, Sunday Night Football, 35-10. And folks, it was not that close. They did not fall into the consistent trend of losing late leads. No, they put the nail in the coffin. They put their foot right on the throat of the Buffalo Billskis and sent them back to upstate New York in a very sad, sad trip home. I mean, holy smokes, we have a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do, got to give a shout out to our sponsor, BetOnline, which is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on the $200,000 mega contest. Pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance to win weekly prizes and a share of $200K. When the games are over, head on over to the online casino and get in a hand of blackjack, some poker, or unwind with over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here, and oh my goodness, look, odds on MVP, my ass. Yes, you're saying it. No, sir. No, sir. And I love this happening on the heels of all the, who was it that said, it was one of these damn analysts on TV saying, Josh Allen just looks like the scarier football player than Lamar Jackson. Oh, does he? Oh, does he? I don't think so. I mean, holy smokes, this team is, and the scary thing I was about to say, hitting on all cylinders. I don't think they are yet. I really don't think they are. And that's the most exciting part of it all. This team still looks like they're kind of still, I mean, like we didn't get a lot from Zay. Didn't need it. Didn't get a lot from Isaiah Likely. Didn't get a lot from Rashid Bateman. Didn't need it. And the best part, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, of the return of the identity, which is running the ball, is that the efficiency in Lamar Jackson's game has returned, just like we used to see all those years where it doesn't need to light up as far as the amount of throws. Efficiency. Let me throw these stats up for you guys, because holy smokes, it's a beautiful sight. Lamar Jackson, 13 of 18. Let's just forget the Bills for a second here. 13 of 18, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. And let's not forget, there was a couple drops in there, which we're going to get to in a little bit. So that 13 of 18 could have been a lot better. 135 quarterback rating. How about this offensive line? He gets sacked 1 time for a loss of 1 yard. This guy was comfortable all day against a very talented and disruptive Bills front. I mean, unbelievable what we saw from this offensive line, despite being down starter Andrew Voorhees and McCary thrust into that position. Rosengarten goes into the full-time right tackle position and, I mean, plays his absolute ass off. Has a couple penalties, but outside of that, played his ass off out there. I mean, Linderbaum running down the field, getting to the second and third level. Ronnie Stanley is back, baby. Ronnie Stanley is back to All-Pro Ronnie. Holy smokes, Lamar Jackson, you are unbelievable. 2 touchdowns, dropping it in buckets all day. The drop Mark Andrews had that was a wide open 15 to 20 yard gain. The bucket he dropped to the sideline to Zay Flowers that Zay dropped. How did he even think to throw that ball? I mean, holy smokes, he was playing out of his mind. And then Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. He wasted no time letting the Bills know what it was going to be like this entire evening. First play of the game, 87-yard touchdown run. He was pulling away from DBs the entire time, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is an absolute freak of nature. People try and tackle him. It's like tackling an oak tree. Poor Taylor Rapp is still seeing stars from trying to tackle this guy. My bad here, Manny. Manny says, what a win. Patrick Ricard was a bully out there. Offensive blocking execution. You all right, DK? Was at another level. LJ on another MVP run. He's immediately thrust to the top of the list. I don't care, because after what Josh Allen was the guy, him and Jayden Daniels are the two right now. It's those two, and then it's everyone else after that. Manny, Patrick Ricard was a bully out there. Holy smokes. And how did he end up with that football on the fumble recovery? His back was turned. How the hell does this dude turn around and somehow fight his ass off and get that ball? Unbelievable. But back to Derrick Henry, 24 carries, 199 yards. Boy, they wanted him to get that 200, didn't they? They wanted him to get the record for most 200-yard games. He doesn't end up ultimately getting there despite the attempts at the end of the game. But who cares, right? 8.3 yards per carry. And look, it wasn't just him. Obviously, Lamar Jackson on the ground. He did have the fumble, but outside of that, he was absolutely flawless, making guys miss. And then, look, I mean, Justice Hill. Justice Hill is one of the most underrated, underappreciated. And look, I'll say it. We were dead wrong about him. I wrote him off after 2019. I said, how can this guy average 3 yards a carry on the greatest rushing team in the history of the NFL? Well, boy, oh boy, has he found his offense. This guy is unbelievable as the second or the 1-2 punch between Derrick Henry and now Justice Hill. Tom Votto says Justice Hill, unsung hero of this offense. He looks quick, fast, and explosive. That he does. I mean, as a runner, like, unbelievable. As a pass catcher, forget about it. Try and guard him with a linebacker. I dare you. Go ahead. Go ahead. And then you know what he does picking up blocks as a pass protector? I mean, what can't this guy do in this offense? He's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. Justice Hill, I am sorry I ever doubted you. Even though it's been quite some time, I'm going to continue to bring it up. I was wrong about this guy. I'm glad they continue to extend his contract. Jimbo, my guy.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was setting my studio all back up. I'm at home. I made it.
I love it.
Were you texting? My bad.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
How do I sound? Do I sound okay?
You sound a lot better. I think the fans will be happy.
Good. Just making sure.
I think the fans will be happy. But look, all I've gone through is what you see on the screen right now.
Yep.
Just that so far. Haven't even gone into the receiving, defense, none of that. It's just very preliminary, Jimbo. But
perfect.
What's your initial, how are you feeling right now?
It's about time. It's about time, number one. I'm still not, as much as I've been on bandwagon for Falele, I still think there's room for improvement because I still think we can do better than him. And I also don't mind McCary at left guard.
Dude, McCary was out there doing his job.
Hey, but outside of that, dude, I'll tell you what, my buddy texted me. You remember my buddy that came to AFC Championship game with us, Grover? He was like, dude, Patrick Ricard deserved that touchdown. As many good blocks as he was laying out there tonight. Yes. Oh, my gosh, dude. So, yeah, my preliminary thoughts are this. At a high level, one, I think this is really just a reflection of growth. I'm going to shout us out because we identified early on, I think before some of the other people, that patience is required for this team. You are going to see some exponential progression, not only from the players at pivotal positions, namely the offensive line, but also from the coaching staff, young coach at defensive coordinator as well, something to consider. So a dominant win for the Baltimore Ravens. We're seeing growth. The biggest thing here, Glenn, to me was not that they played significantly better than the Cowboys game. I mean, I think it was better. It wasn't significant, but they closed the game.
Yeah, that was the second half they played significantly better.
And certainly the fourth quarter. Holy shit. Talking about two different football games, right? So, yeah, I'm super excited, super happy. These are the games that I don't know how many people are going to be calling for John today.
Oh, John, look, there's not going to be a lot. Although, what the hell was that timeout? I mean, bro, like, you gift them a first down on 4th and 2 on a time. Chris Webber, he tried to take a second timeout. I know a little bit different scenario there, but
yeah.
I mean, if that came back to bite him, holy smokes, he would have been absolutely destroyed. Always blessed 410 Warzone says, great win for the Ravens. I think the reason John called for a timeout after Marlon's injury was to get him back into the next play. What do you think? God bless. Great show, fellas. And look, I'll give it to him in that it was unique and that because of the injury, it forced them to call a timeout. It wasn't like he actually called a timeout.
Right.
But, dude, you ain't a rook, bruh. You've been coaching for how many years? You cannot still make these kinds of mistakes.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, it didn't ultimately affect us. Dominant win. So ultimately he gets the credit, but damn.
Hey, I'll tell you what, this is why I'm happy, because the biggest head scratcher from a coaching perspective was not on the Ravens tonight, baby. That trick play was about the most foolish thing I've seen in I don't know how many years. First of all, terrible play design. It got destroyed right off the get, right? Like they already knew what was going on. Number 2, Josh Allen gets lit up by DK's guy, Travis Jones. Absolutely knocks him into a different universe.
Yes.
I mean, that dude
what were they destroyed their own momentum, Jimbo.
Yeah.
Like overthinking, outsmarting themselves. That's what I was clapping at the television. Thank you. You had all the momentum and you tried some fancy stuff. Bunch of dummies out there.
Do you think that when Josh Allen was walking off the field, he could have spelled Wyoming at that point?
No chance.
Not a chance, right? Like,
that dude was, I mean, that was a violent introduction to the ground that Travis Jones set up. I mean, he really took the time to introduce him. But Jimbo.
Wait, I got to ask you one thing really quick, Glenn, before you get into something else. Did Odafe Owe get credit for the sack?
You're damn right he did. He deserved it. And he deserved it. Yes, thank you, Marlon. Was that Marlon? Who was it that blitzed?
It was Marlon that sniffed it, dude.
Thank you, Marlon.
Funny.
Yes. Credit where credit is
he's
due.
He's creeping closer, dude. He's creeping closer.
He is. He is. But the training, but Jimbo, you'll be happy to know the preliminary training has continued. Okay. I'll just tell you that. But look, we talked about Justice Hill as a running back, but 6 catches, 78 yards, a weapon out of the backfield. And look, I talked about it early. Lamar Jackson's like 2 of his incompletions I remember was a Mark Andrews wide open drop for a 15-20 yard
which we'll get into.
And then a Zay Flowers where he drops it in an absolute bucket on the sideline and he dropped it. Outside of that, really flawless game passing. But Justice Hill, the weapon he has become out of the backfield, Jimbo, first of all, who else is a Ravens fan is happy that we can screen pass now, Jimbo? We can screen
seriously, dude. And like how crazy is it to know that on a 3rd down? I mean, we kind of see this trending this way last year as well for Justice, where there was a few surprising plays where it's like, well, just dump it off to Justice to see what he can do. And then he turns it into something time and time again. Cedric Teagle says Justice Hill is so instrumental in so many of these games. He doesn't get enough credit. He's a savior, trending up, blocking, getting better and better. Sorry. But to your point though, and to Cedric's point, man, the spin move he put on that guy, goodness, absolute spin cycle. That dude was inside of a dryer. I mean, forget about it.
That was a big 3rd down to pick up.
Huge. And not only, if I'm not mistaken, before that he had to keep his balance, right? Wasn't that the same play where he was kind of trying to balance?
Yep.
Yeah, and then oh man, to go right into the spin like that was just absolutely incredible. You're right, Justice Hill, an absolute weapon. I'm excited to see how they continue to use him. Yeah, man, super excited about him.
Yeah, let me see here. Manny says gonna whine for a minute. Henry needed 1 yard for 200. Yeah, I mean, look, they did everything they could to try and get it, but the defense knew it at the same time, and they were bringing they didn't want that record to be gotten on them tonight. But that's the only small victory that they get tonight after an absolute evening of a beatdown. Isaiah Likely just 1 catch for 26 yards, and Mark Andrews does miss his only target, which was a wide open catch. But the blocking that these tight ends did all afternoon was nothing short of amazing. Mark Andrews is burying dudes. Isaiah Likely lead blocking, just escorting Lamar Jackson into the end zone. I mean, we talked about Ricard earlier. Charlie Kohler, he gets the penalty, but outside of that guy's road grading people. I mean, the running game, the blocking has inspired everyone, not just the big boys up front.
100%. And that's the exciting part about it. Look, you keep investing in this. Keep investing in the run game and in the tight ends being a unit that maybe isn't getting the statistics that they have in the past and is a used in scenarios where it's a rushing type situation, because it's going to pay dividends later on. You know what I mean? And I think they're bought in. That's one thing I like about this unit is I don't see whining. I don't see bad body posture, anything like that. They're bought in, dude, and they know that this is part of the job.
It's got to feel good to pancake dudes anyway, right?
Oh, it's got to be exciting, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be a blast. Let's see. G. Isaac says, Henry, yeah, Monk was on fire, and Justice Hill was balling his rear end off. Yeah, man, no kidding.
Woo!
To all of that, I mean, it's just exciting to see Derrick Henry get going. Wait, dude, came out the gates.
Yes.
You know what, DK, you guys might not know this. DK is a track guy. Dude, Derrick Henry's form at full speed is flawless. See how high he gets them knees? Just insane. Like, people wonder how he can move so fast, so big. He chews up the earth. I mean, it's insane. It's just incredible to me. Dude, his knees just goo.
Keep going.
Holy heck,
He's
man.
amazing. Yeah, he is really amazing. I love that they've just said, you know what, this is what we do, and we are going to lean into it. Kyle Hamilton, what a performance today. The guy was absolutely everywhere. Kincaid had a couple early catches despite sticky coverage, but outside of that, I mean, honestly, their entire offense tonight, Jimbo, was the BS. I mean, look, it was a nice play as he's rolling out to the right. He hits Shakir on that deep throw as he's getting drilled out of bounds. Great play, but that was the only, and a couple for Kincaid. Like, that was their whole night. They couldn't do anything against this Ravens defense, a defense that some were saying they lost too much, you know, that McDonald left too big of a hole, and Clowney, they can't replace him. Well, they look pretty good tonight, Jimbo.
Dude, no kidding, man. Shamil Malik, can we give it up for our edge front seven? Baconator and KVN, Trav Jones, and NM?
Namdi Madabike.
Okay. Yeah. Are killing it. Good bounce back for Rowe. Yeah, no kidding, man. To your point, Glenn, and to Shamil's point, the defense, the boys up front look good. They look to be a real asset to this defense. I'm excited to see what they can do moving forward. And look, most of all, I got to give love to Kyle Van Noy. Glenn, I think that Dennis Pitta has long been my favorite BYU Cougar. Dude, KVN is starting to move his way up. No, it's not a long list. Like, let's be honest, right? Like, basically, Dennis was the only one I liked.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean? But dude, I really like what Kyle Van Noy does. And my favorite part about all of it is not just the technique. Dude, the effort, the dive on that play. Honestly, how many guys are stretching out and making that play at that age, this tenure in his career, championships already in his belt? KVN, Manny Manny said KVN with 6 sacks already. Career year coming. Dude, last year was 9, right? He's already 2/3 of the way to his career year. So, yeah, the defense is looking good, man.
Yeah, and he does this with his third multi-sack game in 4 games this season.
Wild.
And look, CJ later brings it up in the chat. I got to say it. How about Joe Flacco giving another whooping to the Steelers like old times, baby?
That's right.
I mean, like old times.
It's just muscle memory.
Exactly. He said, do the Steelers need to get beaten? Okay, give me my helmet. I'm going to go in there and help the Ravens out yet again. Shout out to the Joe Flacco-led Colts today.
Yeah, how serious do we know the injury is? I mean,
well, first of all, those guys are morons. I was watching that game. He gets banged up. Richardson comes back in the game, Jimbo. The first play they call, QB run.
What? Why?
And he gets drilled and he's gone. Like, what are we doing, dude? Like,
yeah, it's
like we think these guys are smart and then they do stuff like that, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Tom Votto says Kyle Van Noy is on pace for 24 sacks. Guy is playing out of his mind. He made the correct decision by keeping him over Clowney. We certainly did because if nothing else, I mean, the value we got for his contract and 6 sacks on this pace. Wow. And the guy, I mean, let's be honest, he's a great guy in the locker room.
That's what I was going to say. That counts too.
Yeah, like you don't think I guarantee you when he's playing, we're going to see him on Pat McAfee's podcast here coming up. He's got to be.
Yeah, 100%. And on top of that, oh man, poor Clowney's just down in Carolina just suffering.
I know. Dude, they gave the Bengals all they could handle today.
Yeah, dude. That's a little spark plug over there.
I love it.
Tom Votto says this is the same type off scheme and offense or offensive scheme and offense we have to use against the Bengals. They're weak against the run. Also, their O-line is very leaky. Yeah, I think, Glenn, I watched a little bit of the actually a decent chunk of the preview show.
You mean all of it?
Well, look, this is the thing is that we did a lot of our prep stuff, so I watched a decent chunk of it.
Okay.
But I watched the most important parts.
Okay. My predictions in the show competition.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you're just straight up, what's the word? A sandbag. No, not sandbagging. Gaslighting me
Huh?
on the, yeah. Huh? I also like how you didn't respond to my text either. Just like adds to it. But no, but what I was gonna say is that I think you identified something in the defense of the Bills, who were highly rated coming into this game, of course, smaller defense.
Yep.
You know, they have their skill set, and it just didn't match up well today. And this is the second game in a row, Glenn. I think it's fair to say Monken did not outsmart himself.
No. He just did what you're supposed. Oh, hey, DK. DK. I don't know what happened there, but hey, makes his presence felt. Yeah, no, you're right. He stuck to the game plan. And look, I talked about it on the preview show a million times. Run the ball and play action pass out of it. And when they did, they got wide open guys running across the field. We didn't have a ton of completions today. In fact, there was only 14, but we had a chunk play of 19 yards, 26 yards, 23 yards, 10, 12, not to mention the chunk plays we got on the ground, which were aplenty. Look, that's the recipe. We can run the ball. We can absolutely take your soul by running the ball down your throat with some big dudes. And then we'll play action pass off of it and catch you slipping when you overcommit. I think this, and then look, this defense, Jimbo. Can Wiggins catch the rock?
Dude. And yeah, I'm blaming it on the two mouthpieces.
How many
Like,
do you need?
Yeah, come on, dude. Just stick to one mouthpiece. I think the second one's getting in your face every time you try and catch the football, dude. Come on, man. Yeah. Can he catch the ball? But look, he looks good. He's in the right spots.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
but I didn't expect it to be him. I mean, maybe Brandon and Marlon are rubbing off on him. I don't know.
I guess so. They need to stop.
Yeah, Smodius the Notice says tonight was a great night, signature win against the Bills and the supposed MVP Allen on my 32nd birthday. Shout out to Smodius. Happy birthday, my man. Thanks for spending it with us, and we appreciate the generosity as always. Yes. Hopefully we are returning the value to you in dividends. But yeah, man. You know what was crazy? It's crazy to think that I saw the stat line you put up a second ago. I mean, obviously it's right, but Kyle didn't record a tackle for loss because he was so active near the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? That you're just like crazy to think about. But yeah, just such an impactful game. Yeah, I think let's see here. I'll go ahead.
Yeah, Rave Kingdom says, let's go. This is what we asked for, to play aggressive. Yeah. They certainly, and I think everybody was, look, I watched last night's Alabama-Georgia game, and people were ready to turn it off at halftime. Alabama was blowing their doors off. And it was so, they asked Saban about it at halftime. He said, this game ain't over yet. And damn, if he wasn't right, Georgia came storming back. And so even though we had a comfortable lead, I know what the Ravens have done in the last 4 years with 4-quarter leads. I was not comfortable.
All right.
But man, did they shut the door on them. I loved it when they lost the momentum. They fought. They got it back. Got back to what they did best, which is run the ball. They had a couple drives that got killed by stupid-ass penalties. Man.
Yep.
Like where we were moving. And even that drop by Mark, which I want to get your take on. Mark drops that ball. He's wide open. The very next play, we have a false start. So we went from like 2nd and 5 to now 3rd and 10 that quick. What's going on with, because Mark's blocking his ass off. He doesn't look injured. What's going, is it a mental, like, what are you thinking here?
I don't know. In my mind, it was almost like he only gets 1 to 3 shots a game right now. And That's you almost like psych yourself out. You're like, oh shoot, the ball's actually coming my way.
Right.
You know, where he's used to getting 8, 10, 12, whatever. You know, I don't know. I mean, that's what came to my mind immediately. Like, you're almost in non-belief, like in disbelief, I guess, that the ball's, hey, it's coming my way. This is my.
That's a good point.
And it's hard to say that a guy like that, former All-Pro, would psych himself out like that. But I don't know. We're all human at the end of the day. He hasn't seen the football in how long, and all of a sudden, whoop, there it is. It's like, oh shoot, this is actually coming to me. But yeah, he still should have caught it. At the end of the day, this is what you're paid to do, dude. But I don't know what's going on with the connection there. But to your point, Glenn, my hope is that once again, the tight ends numbers are relatively diminished in the past, I would say 2.5 games.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to come around. It's just a matchups thing.
Haven't needed them. And then when we do throw their way, for the most part, they've been delivering outside of Mark Andrews dropping the ball today. But CJ Lavender says, how scary of a thought is it? We put up 35 points without Flowers, Likely, or Andrews making any contribution. This offense is going to be scary. Yeah, we saw a lot of Flowers running around the behind the line of scrimmage pre-snap, but we didn't see a lot of them actually with the ball in his hands. But yeah, that's the scare. Like, I love the fact that we can still put up 35 points without any of those guys doing anything of consequence.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's a heck of a point. And also, the penalties today continue to be a problem. We double them up in penalties. Luckily, it doesn't matter, but 8 for 79 yards.
5 down from our average.
I guess that's
5 down from our average.
That's
about
true.
trends. It's about trends, Glenn.
Yeah, I guess a good point. But better on third down than them by a wide margin. They were 3 out of 13. We were 5 out of 9. So that certainly made it. But the big thing today, just the ground game and chunk plays to support it, was I think that's the recipe from here on out. And look, the Chiefs losing Rashid Rice, that is a devastating loss.
Dude, talk about karma. Like, I feel zero sympathy for that guy right now.
Oh, because of the you don't think he should have been playing anyway?
Yeah, this is karma, dude. Tell me God don't exist right now.
I mean, look, he certainly got lucky to be playing this season, but that's a big loss, especially with Hollywood being on IR now, the week before being announced. So this AFC, man, I think every team is looking scared of the Ravens right now. RVA Raven fan says, boys, what a win. The O-line is solidified. Yeah, what happens next week at left guard? That's going to be interesting to watch. Lamar is gaining more trust with this line. They didn't take their foot off the pedal. That's what we need to see moving forward. We are the elite in the AFC. Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs go to 4-0 today, but they played a beat-up Chargers team that still gave them everything that they could handle. I like our chances, man. Let's bring it on.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there, Glenn. I'm excited to see what happens moving forward. Man, how 2 weeks can change the tables and change the momentum here for Baltimore. So good point there. But Joe Eckert says Josh Allen sent straight to the shadow realm. Seriously, man, he looked lost. I would not have been surprised if he didn't start walking towards the wrong sideline. I mean, he got absolutely leveled. That was.
They had all the momentum, Jimbo. That was
and I'm thinking in my head, here we go again. Yeah, and then, but how great is it to see the defense capitalize on a play? You get an opportunity in front of you and you capitalize on it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, those are things I think I've been mentioning before, where the Ravens will have, in the past when you had, I'm talking back in the day, right? You got Suggs, you got Reed, you got Lewis, you got, name any guy here that, Doomerville, whoever, like any guy that's been here for a while, or at least made an impact while they've been here. And there's those moments in the game, you got to lead, you need to make a play on defense, right? Yep. The other team is trending and you need to make a play to stop the momentum. And look, they set it up for us, but we still had to knock it down, and we absolutely did that. It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Well, you talked about KVN diving. If he doesn't dive there and say Josh Allen gets that throw off, I don't know where it was headed.
Yeah.
Maybe it was headed to a chunk play.
Right. Absolutely. So, or even if it was just out of bounds, obviously not the same impact.
Right.
As, getting the ball, right?
Yeah.
I also don't care that Marlon shoved Kincaid.
I know. That was a flop.
And I got to say something else. Smoot is dirty.
Yeah, that was dirty.
Dude, how was he not ejected for kneeing somebody in the face after the play?
Straight in his jaw.
Yeah. That was, to me, that's close to stepping on someone. You need him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, I don't know if you noticed, it was like the next play or 2 plays later, Lamar rushed up the middle and he grabbed his leg, picked it up off the ground and pulled on his leg. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Yeah, seriously. Victoria says, great game. Woo, woo. Let's go.
Yeah, buddy.
Absolutely, man. That was just a great win. Doug Cruson says, man, the refs finally let them boys play. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because you see McDermott complaining about on the sideline.
Dude, McDermott, complain all you want. Nothing was agreed. I tell you what, I said it all game. I'm saying, Keon Coleman, you're going to have to shit on Brandon Stevens, because guess what? He's going to be on you like ham on rye bread, my brother. This guy, he couldn't get a whisper of separation from Brandon Stevens. Yeah, he made a couple of crazy catches.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to do that all in night, Keon, because you ain't getting off of him. I mean, Brandon Stevens was sticky.
Yeah, no kidding, man. And it's exciting to now see the progression of Wiggins. Like you said, you got Brand on the other side, and then Marlon, you're
was
getting more
popping
value.
people.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say you're getting more value out of him now.
Dude, that play on the slot where he comes over with his left hand and then he gets first of all, did he get hurt putting the straps on?
That's what I thought too.
He literally got hurt putting the straps on.
In the celebration.
Then he just sits down.
Yep. He's like, I need some help here. Manny says Marlo might be back to All Pro Marlo. I've convinced myself of something, Glenn. So if anybody has or knows somebody or is that is ADHD, Marlon Humphrey is absolutely. That's why the slot works for him, because I can tell you from personal experience, the only time I feel like I think correctly is when there's a million things in front of me. You know, but if there's only one thing, I'm like, oh, look, a butterfly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not interested, right? And Marlon having all that traffic, all that stuff going on, being in the action over and over again, like you said, being able to impose himself on the game physically and all these things, it's better for him. It's better for us. We're getting so much value out of him. Man, keep him in there. Let Wiggins do his thing out there. I know there'll be some learning, some blunders and stuff, but I think as long as Wiggins isn't getting big penalties or really getting cooked, let's let the kid grow and depend on those guys around him to help him.
Yeah, Nick Rube says a penny for every Henry rushing yard. Let's go. Yeah, you're going to make a couple dollars this year. You're going to certainly make a couple dollars this year.
Yeah.
This guy, look, we always wondered what it would be like to have a Lamar Jackson backfield with a great running back, like an elite running back. We love what we got from Mark Ingram. We love Gus. And, you know, Dobbins he was banged up, but we got one of the GOATs now. And, man, it's a beautiful sight, man. Lamar doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting anymore.
Yeah, no kidding. And so this play in particular wasn't with him in the game, but, dude, the touchdown run on the right side, speaking of the rushing attack, when I swear I thought Justice Hill had the ball.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking? I mean, goodness gracious, Lamar Jackson is so dang good.
Yeah, he's an.
You remember we had Jeff Risden on the show said he's the Babe Ruth of the
read option. Or
yeah.
Like, he is, because the first 3 years he didn't make a single bad read ever for the first 3 years of him starting. Like, every read was exactly the right one. Like, this dude's a savant.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's this was a special win to overcome. Look, everyone thought the Bills were the odds-on favorite to dethrone the Chiefs. Like, everyone's ready to give them their flowers, but not tonight. Not tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We send them home scratching their heads. Don C, the continued generosity and support, gifting 5 more people.
Let's go.
410 Sports Talk memberships. Definitely check those. I think you accept them. I still don't know. But yes, definitely take a look and accept those. Let me see here.
Same thing. Always Blessed 410 Warzone gifted another membership. And just like Glenn said, go check it out. DK is crushing it over there with his musing segment. And then, of course, you get some cool content behind the scenes from us as well. Man, what a game. Bronco says Monken and Orr schemed them the F up. Yeah, man. What did you think about, I don't know if you have these stats in front of you, but it seemed like our pressure rate was higher this game, and it seemed like it's been increasingly. It's either that or we're just, I think two things are happening. Just like Coach said, I think we're getting better at getting pressure without the blitz, but I do think that Orr is starting to be more timely and pair it a little more, adding some complexity to this. Right, that's what it looked like to me on my eyes. I'm not a film expert, but that's what it looked like to me.
No, you're 100% right. They certainly in key moments brought the blitz. We saw Marlon Humphrey's impact. It ended up being an Oweh sack, but it was definitely Marlon who was making the impact there.
Yep.
I absolutely love what they're doing. If you can get pressure with 4 or 5, then do that. Like, if you don't have to, and they haven't had to, they end up getting to Josh Allen 3 times. But look, we know it was more than that when it comes to the disruption that they were causing. 180 yards, 16 of 29 passing. For the guy who didn't have an interception, what do you have? 8 touchdowns, no picks coming into this game?
9.
Yeah, 9.
It was
and no
9-1. Yeah.
He's been unbelievable. James Cook has been unbelievable this year. They just completely took the ball out of his hands. They said, no, you will not be an impact today. Even Khalil Shakir, he had that 52-yarder, but that was some fluke. Like, he couldn't get anything going.
Right.
Yeah, man. This Zach Orr, I hope it's like what we said before the season. And look, there was some worry going 0-2. There was some panic, I'll even say, especially at the thought of going 0-3. But maybe it's just like what we said, that we're going to be our worst version in the beginning of the year because of the key spots where we're young and have new starters at, but we're going to keep building. And by season's end, maybe we'll finally be peaking at the right time here in Baltimore.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, Glenn. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I also believe that John Harbaugh has one of, if not the best record in December, but certainly one of the best records in December. So yeah, they're that trend I think will continue.
Yeah.
DK, you want to throw the super chat? Oh, cool. Thank you. Marcus Orr says, I'm a firm believer that the flowers gotta outshine the tomato slime. Bateman was getting some separation today and almost made an insane catch on a PI, lifting the Busman label for now. Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. There's excitement there. And look, he's a legitimate talent. That's undeniable, right? We just got to pair this thing up. That's what it's always been. We've been perplexed about why this thing hasn't worked, not about the lack of talent.
No, yeah, exactly. This is the kind of guy who, if he left Baltimore, would probably go somewhere and become a 1,500-yard
like
receiver.
Kansas City, right?
Yeah,
like you see him in Kansas City, just
piss everyone off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, to his oh, here we go. Devin McShane says, I know in my heart Lamar could literally run away with this game, and he's 1,000% better than Josh Allen. But when I'm betting, I get super nervous. LOL. Look, it's always dangerous betting on the team you actually are emotionally invested in. I tend to never bet for or against the Ravens because I'm already emotionally invested. I don't need to be financially invested in the Ravens as well. I stick my gambling to the other 30 teams playing that weekend.
There you go. It's a good way to look at it, Glenn. I like it. On the other side, if you are going to gamble, it also might be a good idea to gamble about the team you know the most about.
That's a good point.
I think I tend to agree with your take.
That is a good point. But if you were betting on the Ravens tonight, you made a lot of money. I think the spread opened, or the game, I think it was 1.5 is where it opened today on betonline.ag. If you guys haven't been there, definitely visit it. But yeah, 1.5, and they beat them by, what was it, 25 points? I mean, holy smokes.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Let's go. Joshua Hunter says, great team win. Offensive game plan is simple. If they can't stop the run ain't stopping.
Yep. I love it, Josh. I love it.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Like Monken, yeah, just keep dialing it up, dude, and enjoy it and get the team into it. Also, did you see Greg Roman's putrid offense today for the Chargers? So glad we're done with him. It's so funny how things changed 2 weeks ago. Somebody was missing Greg Roman.
It couldn't have been me.
Look, I'm still calling it though, Glenn. Let the Chargers get healthy. Let them see them later.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I know they're 4-0, and I know the Chargers are what, 2-2 or 3-1?
I think they're 3-1.
2-2, DK.
Okay.
Anyway, I still think they take the West.
Yeah, man. Let's see what happens with the Chiefs now that they're even more beat up. They lost their clear-cut number one receiver. Although I will say I have Xavier Worthy on my fantasy team, so I could benefit. I could benefit from the lack of Rashid Rice. Massey says defense clean, almost no flags besides Marlon boneheadedness. Well, they still had double the amount of penalties that their opponent had today. They had 8 penalties to 4 for the Bills, so they still have work to do. And the boneheaded, you talk about boneheadedness. I give that award to John Harbaugh calling a timeout after a timeout and giving up 4th and 2. I mean, that boneheadedness, you got to give it to him. But either way, they won the game. They destroyed.
Yeah, for sure. Now, obviously, if this is in different context, I think we'd be taking it more serious to play like that. But that Marlon was just getting back because Kincaid was just beating on him the whole game. He's bigger than him, right? He's you know what I'm saying? He's like, screw it, I'm gonna get you now, dude. Had the shot to do so he went ahead and did it.
Yeah, I can't wait. Who do we play next week? I'm gonna beat the hell out of them too.
I know we start doing a little bit of a run in the division, if I'm not mistaken.
Is
right?
The Bengals next week? It might be the Bengals. I know they're coming up. They're coming up. Kevin says, I only have one criticism. 2 3-and-outs after the because they went away from under center running the ball. We need to stop going away from what's working. Still a big win. Yeah. No, I agree. I was getting a little concerned with those first couple possessions in the second half, but thank goodness they got back to their bread and butter. It worked just like it did worked all first half. And man, What a win tonight, Jim.
Yeah, man. I don't know how much. I mean, I agree. Obviously, there'll still be things to work on. There'll still be
Well, look, Justin Tucker didn't get a chance to kick a ball, and we need to see if he can make one.
I know. That's absolutely true. Next game, Bengals, Commanders, and Bucks. And the Commanders
that
are
Commanders game is going to be fun. Hey, I ain't scared to know. Hold on. I'm already getting. Let me stop. I was about to already start shitting on Jayden Daniels. I was about to go at him, dude.
And that's your guy, dude. We were both right about. Did I already talk about this on the show?
I think you might have at one point. Yeah.
Dude, I told you Caleb Williams wasn't real.
Yep.
And Jayden was your guy, dude.
Jayden was my guy.
That's why you guys got to watch the show, subscribe to the show, because even when one of us are wrong, we're still right. And this moment,
right.
That's right. We just happen to both be right.
That's right.
Called it, dude.
Doug says, gents, where was this line week 1 and week 2? Yeah, where was this line week 1 and 2? Yes, where was it? Well, I guess they just need a little more time. What's your early impressions on what they do next week if Voorhees is ready?
I don't know. I say you ride with the hot hand.
Dude, he looked good out there at guard,
he did.
dude. He was out there moving.
First career start,
dude.
First career start. How crazy is that? At left guard, and he just looked like he'd been doing it.
I did like him out there, bro. I gotta say it.
I mean, no, I agree with you 100%. But look, it's not only the infusion of McCary. Rosengarten is obviously improving. Falele is improving. Like, this line is starting to gel.
Yep.
So I don't know. To me, you make Voorhees win it back. I don't know how you do that at this point in the season, but I'm cool with riding with McCary.
I think at the very least, you got to let McCary lose the job now. He's got it.
Yeah. Now, the only argument in the contrary will be what happens. So I guess if somebody else does get injured, McCary just moves and you can plug in Voorhees back. But obviously,
Voorhees was in there when we ran up for 250 yards against the Cowboys.
It's true. No, for sure. But it just looked good tonight.
It did look, dude. McCary looked athletic as shit out there.
Yeah.
Like, he was everywhere. And then Tyler Linderbaum was running 30 yards past the line of scrimmage blocking dudes. Like, he's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
He's so good.
And you know what? That's one of my complaints. Who was it? I think it was a Lamar run or a Justice Hill run. But literally Falele in the open field touched no one.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Yeah, and it was a big run. And he just
and it would have been bigger. He was the guy.
Yeah.
If he would have just, because his guy made the tackle.
Yeah, I know.
Like, exactly, dude, you're massive. Just do this and rake people.
He saw a couple of people and he's like, I don't know which one to do.
And he did nothing. And so DK is saying the solution is get Falele out, put McCary in there, and put Voorhees back at left guard.
Maybe, just maybe. I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah, some people
I love how we're just shuffling, dude. We're just like shuffling.
I know.
Winning games. Bring it on, kitty cats. We're going to beat the pussy cats into the ground next week. I can't wait to see it. Quan says, what's the Super Bowl deadline trade? Davante Adams? I don't think Davante would fit. I just don't. I mean, he's a great player, but
yeah,
I don't see it.
Well, to me, it's similar to like a Bateman, right? Like, it's just.
You know who we get?
Who?
Go get Clowney back.
Really? You want more there?
Why not?
I mean, I guess why not? That's true. But I don't. I mean, and so if Clowney's there, you've got to assume that there's some teams. Does it make sense to go try and find a guard?
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think there'll be a guy there? Just a vet guy? DK thinks there's going to be a guy there.
I just don't see many teams trading good offensive linemen.
Oh, he's saying Bozeman.
Ever. Bozeman? Is he an upgrade? I don't know.
Look at DK is losing his mind.
I don't know if Bozeman's an upgrade.
At right guard over Falele?
Oh, well, maybe at right guard over Falele. I thought, well, let's look him up. Look up his PFF grade, DK. I want to see what Bozeman's doing.
And I think there's bad blood.
Yeah, he's dead to us. Remember, he left when we offered him a contract, and he decided to take less money and go to Carolina.
Yeah, that contract was doo-doo, too.
Yeah, it was trash. But as far as Davante Adams, a lot of money. They'd probably want like a decent draft pick for him because he's Davante Adams.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I see the fit.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you. Dude, apparently, did you see this? Jack Harbaugh impromptu media addresses the media impromptu before John gets up there.
No, I didn't see
Yeah.
it. Oh, I love that.
And he gets up there and he's like, "Who has it better than us?
Oh, I love that.
Nobody." Dude, that's got to go on his tombstone, right? One day.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. What a legend, man. Holy
Yeah, no
smokes.
kidding.
Just for you, Jimbo.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Hey, Jimbo, as a Dallas native, I'm with you on Rice. Yes, sir. Yeehaw. I like the name, too, dude. The Raven with the hat. A lot of creativity in this one. Yeah, man. I mean, look, I wish
Look
I
up the
felt bad.
videos, guys.
Yeah, I
I'm
wish
sure
I
there's
felt bad
stuff.
for the guy, but,
Yeah.
it just is what it is. That's why. Anyway, I'm not going to go further down this rabbit hole. But there
Yeah,
are other
but
players
he's out.
not named that have done terrible things. I don't feel bad for them when things happen to them because they're
That's
terrible
right.
humans.
That's
Think
right.
about it. When things actually get public, how much private stuff have you done?
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is usually the tip of the iceberg. How foolish was this guy living before this?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And
just crazy to me.
now it's going to be the Xavier Worthy show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. But now it's not always the case, though, Glenn. You know as well as I that some people do something once and they just get caught.
That's true.
You know? I mean, if you remember the pumpkins, right? Like,
I told you.
I try something once, dude. I get caught. There it is. And that's been my whole life. My whole life.
Sometimes I think back on some of the things that I got away with, man. Whew.
It's crazy, right?
I could have been caught, and this could have been a lot different. Doug says, Glenn getting closer to the Baconator. Look, I'll eat a Baconator tomorrow on this show.
So when
Glenn
I
is
eat
getting
it, are you going to
closer.
eat it? Are you going to eat one with me?
I would love to. I would give me genuine pleasure to dine with you. That I would even light a candle, dude. I'll light a long candle here, dude. You're damn right.
That's hilarious, dude. That's awesome. I love it.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind that, Doug.
closer, man.
Dude, I was getting nervous because I'm like, he can't, like, he's up to 3.5, DK. 3.5. Don't take that half from me because I might need that half later on this season.
Seriously.
Hey, one last thing. I don't think we touched on him much tonight, and that's Travis Jones is an absolute man-child who can throw large human beings out of his way.
Oh, the holding call? Is that what you're talking? Where he just,
dude, he's just such a monster. Like his pass rush, it blows my mind. Like him, I need to see more of him and Matabike next to each other. First and foremost, they're a problem, Jimbo. They're an absolute problem.
Think about what would happen if he did this to a normal human.
Oh, I think my upper body would just separate from my lower body.
Just poof, just detach itself.
Just like
I mean, your legs would just be standing there. It's like still trying to run or something.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Dude, holy crap. Maybe it'd be like a Mortal Kombat game where you just rip the human in half or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude, he's so good. He's so exciting. The crazy part to me is that obviously, like, because he wears 98 and he's a big dude, he makes me think of Brandon Williams. But he's so much more athletic, so much more of a threat in the running, in the pass rush and passing scenarios. Whew, this kid is good. Ravens found another one, man. I tell you what.
Yeah, no doubt. They got themselves.
Because Michael Pierce didn't play in this game, right? He was out.
No, he was out. And, man, it didn't look like they missed him. I mean, I hate to say it because we're big Michael Pierce guys. And look, we'll be happy when he's back out there.
Absolutely.
But, man, they looked absolutely phenomenal. We even saw Eddie Jackson get in there and make his presence felt on a blitz.
Mix it up.
But look, I think that's it for us tonight. Unless you have something else, nothing else.
The competition we'll get to on Tuesday as we've been doing this year. So make sure you stay tuned.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree with you, Glenn. I think that's it. And then of course on Tuesday we'll kind of give the game a further breakdown, like we've been doing, going through snap counts, talk about things that need improvement, things we're excited about, etc.
Yeah. How many sacks does 99 get next week, Jimbo? How many?
2.
Oh, it's Joe Burrow and a beat up offensive line. Oh, yes, sir. Yes. Like Travis says in the chat here, hit the like button, guys. It helps us push this out to more. Ravens fan. Takes you 2 seconds. I'd certainly appreciate it. And so would Jimbo.
Yep.
But yeah, that's it for us tonight. Shout out to the Ravens, putting the league on notice, letting them know what we're about here in Baltimore. Have a good night. We'll see you on Tuesday.